storytelling as one of the personas under the storyteller. So there are two types of people out there in the world. Some may say left brain and others may say right brain. From a sales perspective, I see two types of salespeople. I see those that have absolutely no trouble in spinning a story. The thing is, sometimes there's no relevance to that story or no business relevance to that story. They need to rein it in. They need a little bit of a structure. I then see the technical salespeople, and they kind of almost poo-poo any type of storytelling because it's not serious enough. I mean, these guys are structured thinkers. You know, they've got some form of, I guess, process thought thinking. And so once these guys get some form of a structure, they can be the best storytellers on the planet. So structure forms a huge part of story. Now, for any story to be told, any good story, many of you may have, know the hero's journey, Joseph Campbell, or there's Donald Miller, and there's Randy Olson's ABT formula. But basically what it does, there is a time marker, there is a place marker, there is a character, there is something that happens, and then there is a business point, or there is a point to the story. And salespeople need to bring the relevance into their story. So storytelling, as we know it, is super important. But who's doing all the talking? We are. The salespeople are. So how can we tell a strategic story and be on the same side as the buyer and have that buyer contribute to that story that we're telling, so that both of us are sitting there working on a strategic story together? Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's sidekick, everything he does is based on mental models. All his thinking is around visual mental models. And he said, if we want to make things simple today, we need to have mental models in our head. And I believe that we need to do exactly the same for our buyer, to be able to sit there at a coffee lounge, grab a pen, grab a serviette, and capture a mental model and discuss that together. That is 100% buy-in. So the storyteller underneath the storyteller umbrella is able to tell three different stories. Number one is to guide change. Let's create a value model together that shows our buyer with buy-in where they are on their real buyer journey, not our buyer journey that's kind of rejigged to look like not our seller journey, rather, that's rejigged to look like a buyer journey. But let's create their buyer journey as an individual, at an individual level, and also a why. Why are they wanting to change? Secondly is, once we understand the who and the why, let's look at what they actually want to change. So let's bring together a quadrant. Let's bring together a quadrant matrix, and let's collaborate together on what actually needs to change in their world. We get that right, we can then move on to the Venn diagram, integrate all this together and capture the how. So strategically, the stories we need to be able to tell our buyer are why they need to change, what they need to change, and how they need to change. When you can do that, leveraging mental models, that is when you step into the storyteller storytelling mode. So more on the story selling journey in the next few videos. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Follow me on YouTube at The Storyteller. Follow me on LinkedIn by ringing the bell, and you'll be able to share and take part in any of my other ideas and posts, or subscribe to my newsletter. So on that note, have an amazing day and step into your strategic storytelling. Bye for now.